Okay, so I'm going to be just kind of speaking, doing some introspection. Um, I left some of the cards out, just kind of cleaned them up a little bit. And as I was putting up the cards, smear campaign warrants and arrests being made and perjury surfaced. So I pulled them out because I was moved to pull them out. And this is a part of what's going on with the message in the last recording. So, smear campaigning, character assassination, okay, was taking place. Also, perjury with these courts. We saw forgery, and some other things, identity theft. Yeah, all kinds of dishonorable, disgraceful acts with these people in the so-called government seats. Okay, so a lot of this took place in the courts, and a lot of other structures worked with them. A lot of the police, like the attorneys, and then just in different departments within their government structures. Okay. And also outside people in the community, okay, took part in this, like family, okay. So these are the maniacs that came out. So that's what Spirit wants, how Spirit wants to address them. They're maniacs, okay. They're wilding out because of these indictments. And they thought that they were going to get a right out of their wrongs, out of their fraud, their falsehood, okay? But the first and foremost law that's taking place is spiritual law. So the spiritual team is most definitely wilding out on them, okay? So that's what this is. A lot of these obsessed with the devil being here groups, maniacs, taking part in all kinds of dark rooted things, satanic, things going on behind doors, okay, and these secret, societies, and these are these groups also that these informants, these, groups, outside groups that the government, use as informants, to kind of spy and scry on the people. And then they choose certain people, like divine ones, to target and to abuse and to take from, right? So, we have Eight of Swords here, Ten of Swords, Justice, the Hierophant, Judgment, sweet, sweet justice, We saw Kali Ma, let us know that what's going on, what's going down, what's going down for the maniacs. We are the, what is it called? Brainy maniacs, or something like that cartoon. But however, I'll just want to speak on a couple of things. So one little quick thing is, while I was out, a couple weeks ago, it was, this young man, he wasn't young, but an adult male, that was around me. You know, I was out in the public, so I was around a lot of people. But he was kind of standing near me. Okay. Um, and I noticed that his shirt said, "I have issues." And I thought to myself, for somebody to wear something like that, that must be a true statement. I don't even want to know what kind of issues he got, which is probably just the main issues that most of our men, melanated men have. Seconds after that, he showed his issues because he went off for no reason on this other man. He went from like 0 to 200, okay? And because the man didn't answer him like in 2.2 seconds, he just went up another 100 notches. Then he went walking off on the other end, like, like a little baby having a tantrum. And I'm just like, whoa. What was that about? So this introspection is going to be about healing. And again, just how important it is for us to do the healing work, because it's just destroying us, the community, everything and everybody around us. It is just, it's a necessity, right? So, when I see stuff like that, I just wonder, like, wow, it's just the trauma that people are carrying. But the thing is, they're not healing from it, or not even attempting to heal, or probably don't even know how to heal because they don't know how to go within. They've been taught how to just, everything is outside of themselves. So this is where the biggest error is at, the biggest fraud is at, you know. So I'm going to go into the incident that happened in Arkansas with the nurse. My goodness. So these two young ladies, they're in their early 20s, young. This is that maiden energy. This is that Queen of Wands energy, okay? Um, so apparently they've known each other for quite some time, like since they were adolescents. Okay, so they probably spent most of their time in competition with each other. And however, they ended up messing around with the same male, masculine. And of course, they probably had this mentality like, I'm the biggest, baddest, B. And oh, I got, because see, this is what a lot of these females, this is just where a lot of them is at mentally, okay? They think that their beauty is just the where all be all. That's just it, okay? Their beauty in their body. Okay, Queen of Wands. Okay, Queen of Wands is usually beautiful, but Queen of Wands is a lot deeper than that. Queen of Wands can be very sensual as well. That's that passion. That's the fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But like I said, Queen of Wands is much deeper than that. It's just not surface. Okay. But a lot of these women are just surface. That's as far as it goes. So one was light skinned, and then the other one was dark skinned. So they probably was going through that type of competition, and jealousy. So I talked about this yesterday too, about that King of Pentacles and Five of Wands energy that surfaced. The competition with, women with women, men and men, uh, men and women and men, you know. In this particular case, it's a woman and woman. So they're competing with one another with who's the most beautiful, who is the most successful, who makes the most money, who got the biggest butt, who got the biggest breast, who got the longest eyelashes, who got the uh, longest weave that's decked out, who got the longest nail to keep the nail done in just blinged out, iced out. Who? You know, everything is outside of themselves, everything is material based, and it's sickening because that's their value, okay? And that's that King of Pentacles in reverse, okay? Materialistic. And then that's as far as it goes, it's just the material. They have no morals, they have no integrity, not all of them, I'm not speaking of all of them, okay? And this particular young lady that was a nurse, okay, so out of jealousy and hate and fighting over a man, a masculine, apparently he was lying to them both. Okay, and that's another thing about you masculines. Y'all need to stop lying to these women. Although even if you don't, some of them they just crazy, so they just make me crazy anyway. Okay, because each and everybody have to do their own internal work. That's where it is, okay? But the masculine, this particular guy apparently was lying to them. They want to sow their wild oats and everything is getting passed along. And everybody is crazy because of just the mixing of the genes and the DNA, sleeping with that one, sleeping with this one, going from that one to this one without healing, without, giving yourself some time, especially as women, okay? And you know, so get with women that don't mind you having multiple women. And then again, that has to be done in the right way. This polygamy, that people are in this modern day polygamy, it's all for the wrong reasons. And it's just messed up. Okay? It's messed up. And then on top of that, the men can't even afford to take care of themselves, let alone more than one woman. The men ain't even healed. They got trauma carrying. So how the hell you can't take on that? That's a lot to take on. More than one woman. Talking about one brotherly polygamy. No, sit down somewhere. Okay? You just want to whip that wand all over the place and get your little satisfaction and your nut with you every time you shooting your seeds, you depleting yourself. Okay? So you got to rise above that. Okay? Rise above that lower chakra. Okay? That low vibrational chakra. Okay? Utilize that sexual chakra, that sacral chakra the right way. Okay? Balance it out. Use it to do some creating. Okay? There's other ways to use the sexual energy, not just actually physically having sex. Okay? So we have to know this. And then when you're doing that, when you are engaging, we want to be in the right mind space, in the right heart space, okay? Because we can manifest some things together, okay? And healing got to be going on. We have to get rid of some things because we don't want to be, I don't want your junk. And I don't want to give my junk to nobody. So, yeah, I want to make sure I'm healed. I'm as pure as I can be. And same thing, okay? Because we gonna ignite some things like the wands, almost definitely, okay? And we gonna manifest some things in that moment. Yes, We're going to feel all that electricity, that passion, that love, everything. Okay? And to be able to share that with someone else is electrifying, euphoric in itself, right? So, anywho, okay. Both these women going crazy. He got both these women crazy, and it's probably not even just the two of them. So apparently, her being a nurse and she's up under HIPAA laws, okay, um, she violated the HIPAA law, violated this other young lady's privacy by exposing some medical information online. And it's like, have you lost? Are you? Did you fall asleep in class when they was talking about that, or did you the ethical part of the medical? Did you fall asleep, or you weren't paying attention, or you was daydreaming about your nail appointment and your hair appointment? What was going on? Because apparently she didn't take that serious in her ego. You see, we got to release the ego and heal ourselves because her ego got the best of her with that. Because as a nurse, you don't know how much trouble you can get into for doing that. So not only did she lose her job, which she should have, she lost her license, which she should have. And a lot of these people that are in this medical, institution, it's not about customer service. It's not about humanity. It's about making money. Okay? And a lot of these young women, they in it just for the money and just for the status. Oh, I'm a nurse, and I'm young, and I got it made. I got money coming in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just a bitch. Okay? So that B word, okay? It was I can't remember who said this some years ago, but her acronym for BITCH was uh, being in control of herself. Okay, so being in control of you. All right, when somebody called, you a BITCH. Okay, which is supposed to be a negative connotation, so you can flip that by, referring it to, being in total control of myself, herself, which is yourself. And a lot of them aren't. Okay. So they want to be this boss, again, they want to be the big boss of things when they're really not a boss, okay? Minister Saladin, um, the acronym BOSS, BOSS, he referred to being of supreme status. So that is dealing with self-accountability, self-mastery. That's releasing the ego, okay? Mastering the self, knowing that self, healing that self, loving that self, okay? And apparently that's what's missing, okay? Apparently that's what was missing with these ladies, because if they did, they wouldn't allow this man to have both of them going crazy like this, okay? She lost her job and her nurse license. And that can get reinstated. I don't know what the period is. I don't know what type of violence, if they have stipulations on that, which I'm quite sure they do. But I know getting that reinstated is a task, tumultuous task. Okay, it's not easy. You're gonna have a hard time getting a job in the medical field anywhere, You can't go to another state because they're going to investigate. And I think they put that, although it's a state-based license, they put it in a national database, I'm sure. So other states have access to it, right? Yeah. So, and then they're going to investigate, you know, have you practiced in any other states? And they're going to see that. And that's not going to look good when it say you violated the HIPAA laws, you exposed somebody's medical records. That ain't going to look good. And then on top of that, now you're going to get a lawsuit. Well, I would slap a lawsuit on her, okay? She said she was, but you know, people say a lot of things, you see? And then so where the other young lady went wrong at is that she attacked her. Well, why would you do that? It's ego again, you know, that emotional instability. Okay, this the drama. Okay, this man, you know, DNA and both of them got both of them going haywire. So she went in the hospital, beat her up, assault. Okay, so now she can file a claim for assault as well. So both of them gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? Um, something. What the hell? What So yeah. So it's like, okay. So if you were in your divine intelligence, you would have said to yourself, self, although I want to lay some hands on this child, on this chick, I'm gonna hurt it where it's gonna hurt the most. Worse than me laying some hands on her is I'm gonna go after them pockets, you see. Now that is a can of whoop ass for your ass, okay? Her losing her job and that medical license, oh, that hurt her more than anything that you can do to her. Putting your hands on that young lady, okay? So yeah, that's what you do. You go ahead on and you utilize that what she did, which was illegal and unlawful. So you most definitely have a case against her for violating your privacy, for violating HIPAA laws. Okay? You don't go and try to battle it out physically with this child. Okay? Trying to prove yourself to be the strongest, biggest, baddest me. Right. So, another situation where healing is missed. Okay. We are going through life without healing, and we think that our lives are good and, you know, we, we're good because we have a little jobby job, just over broke. We got a little license that they can take whenever they want to under them. Okay? But with all things, there's something called integrity and morals. Okay? Do you have that for yourself? You know? So, because if you do, um, you wouldn't, you would most definitely think about getting yourself into something like that. And then it's like, that is hate. That's that. enmity right there, okay? And with these women just hating on one another, it's just like deep rooted hate. For you to tell somebody medical because you feel you got some type of power, and that's that abuse of power again, you know, on a little on a minor scale. Um, because people don't know how to handle a little bit of responsibility. They don't. They abuse it. Okay? They don't know how to control themselves. And that's what it's about. So she had a responsibility, a duty of care. Okay? We all have a duty of care to one another, first and foremost, as human beings here, okay, as living vessels, okay, a part of nature, all right, a part of this universe. We have a duty of care to one another. And by her being in the medical profession, she had another level of duty of care. She violated both of them, okay? The both of them violated that. Because I don't think that that was warranted enough for that girl to put her hands on her because it's called, oh, I got a lawsuit. Simple as that, right? And now it's some things that some people can do that will warrant putting some hands on. That's like violating a child's innocence or something like that. Now that, okay? But that, no. Mm-mm. I don't need to do that. I'm gonna whoop your ass with this lawsuit. I'm gonna whoop them pockets. Cause that's gonna hurt you more. I'm not gonna incriminate myself and put my hands on you. Then now you got a lawsuit against me too. So yeah, we gotta think smarter than that. We gotta go ahead on and heal. Okay, women, we got to heal and stop hating one another because you know what that means? That you hate yourself. Because we all are interconnected. You jealous of another woman, what she got, how she look, what you doing, all this type of stuff. There's some internal problems. So see what that is and turn that into love for yourself. Okay? See how you can work together. Stop being jealous of one another. Stop being, want to pull each other down and want to be the best. It's enough out here for it all. Don't you know that Mother Nature is abundant? And there you go with that patriarchal mindset again that I talked about yesterday. A chain reaction, okay, of abuse, of hate, okay? So, yeah, we got to do better. And however, Saturn is all about disciplining your lessons. So whenever you don't learn, guess what you're going to be doing? You're going to just be keep going through the same thing until you do. So the choice is yours, right? The choice is yours. So that's this type of energy. That's not Empress and Emperor energy. Okay? That's not being in this meiotic principles either, justice. Because you causing harm to another. And you're gonna get judged for that. So you need to go ahead on, you know, and go through a spiritual awakening. Okay. So you can balance yourself out and stop bringing disharmony, dis-ease, disorder to everything, to yourself and to everything around you and everything you touch. That's not Empress energy. Okay. Everything that the Empress touches turns to gold. She brings love and nurturing and healing. Mhm. Yeah. So that's one thing. So now, um, enough of that. Hopefully them ladies get it together. I don't know. And hopefully some people can learn from that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. People's probably talking about the same thing. Oh yeah, I would have whooped her head too. Okay, the same stuff that is a repeated cycle. This is how these generational curses, okay, these traumas, is just keep repeating themselves. Ain't nobody healing from nothing. Ain't nobody learning from nothing. Okay. Everybody just want to be seen and heard, and it's all you're talking about and doing the wrong, the stupidest things, and it's not doing nothing for nobody, not even yourself. Okay, so we have to rethink about things. Okay, we have to do things differently. So it was a movie that I watched, and I don't watch a lot of TV. Every blue moon I may. And the reason why I guess I ended up watching this, first I was just watching something just to kind of just let loose a little bit, I guess. But the information of the movie was saying how, a woman was going through a lot of toxic relationships that ended up affecting, in so many words, her family, i.e., her children. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm gonna watch this and just, because again, apparently, is talking about us as women, how us being unhealed affects not only us, it affects our children. Okay. So I felt that it was something there, not that I can learn from, because I most definitely had to learn from my actions, in the past. It's nothing nobody can, you can't change the past. You only can heal from the past and then make um, better choices now and in the future, right? So the movie is called Father May I. And I'm wondering, like, why is it called Father May I? Because I always look at titles and I like to, get information out of the titles. These idiots. Some people are just some real idiots, I be telling you. Y'all be going through what y'all say. Okay. This may turn into a part 3 video. I'm hoping not. And if it do, I may not even do it. It just depends on how I feel. But, however, um, Father May I, they had a part 1, 2, and 3. And it was kind of like a little bootleg, movie a little bit, But, it was the message that was, important. So I like to just watch stuff like that just to kind of analyze it. And these things can be used as a teaching moment. I will watch movies with my children and then we would have a discussion about it. Um, and that's just how I like to do with movies now. I like to watch them and be like, okay, you know, what, use it as a teaching moment. So this movie, this um, young lady, um, she had 3 children, 2 females and 1 male. They looked like they were all around the same age and not too far apart. They were kind of like maybe preteens, or maybe one was maybe a preteen and the other ones was, maybe a year behind that. So she was in an abusive relationship with this man. I think he was a drug dealer. Later, kind of find out he was on drugs, so maybe he was selling and using. But she was working nights, and she would leave her children with this man. And okay, big mistake. All right. And he would treat them bad, yell at them, be mean to them. He'd be having parties, in the other room, and he'll put them outside, lock them outside until she come home. And they said that he wouldn't feed them until she would come home. So they were being mistreated. And then he would take the air conditioner out the room on hot days, so they'd be, and lock them up in their room. Take the TV so they don't have anything to watch. So they were being abused, and it's like this little girl don't just okay. See, what is we doing, women? we can't, and that's that being outside yourself, letting the world go round, okay, around you, run circles around you to the point where you don't even know when your children are being abused, okay. He like, them ain't my dang own children, he's like, I don't give a damn about them. I kill them, he didn't care about them. He made that known. And he was beating her physically. And so it was just a lot of hate. Finally, she decided to leave him. And she had a history of being in these type of relationships, okay? So come to find out that, of course, she was abused as a young girl. She was abused by her father and a couple of other, men that her mother was with. And the Father May I was a game that she would play with her children, saying, Father May I? And it was like, she would say, Father May, or they would say, Father May I? And then she would say something. They would say, Father May I? Something. Father May I get some water or something? And then she would be like, yes. So it's like, well, where did they get this Father May? So kind of find out that the Father May I game came from one of her abusers when she was a child. And I'm like, why is she doing that with her children? That don't make no sense. And then I'm like, she's not even a father. So where's she getting this Father May I? So it came out that that's where the Father May I came. But I'm like, but why is she playing that? So they tried to portray her as this, I guess, good mother, but when it was like, oh gosh, this wasn't helping at all. So, not saying that, she didn't love the children, and she was only doing what she knew to do. You see, sometimes that's all we can do is what we know to do. But a lot of the times, instinctually, we miss a lot of things, okay, because we're not even a little bit in tune, okay, like that with leaving your children with a man, that is not their father and someone you just dating, and one, he's abusive to you, so what do you think he may be doing with your children? And then you have young ladies, and even now, you got a son, but across the board, you got children now because they doing it to the the sons and the daughters. So you just got to be real. You just got to say, I'm not even gonna put them in that situation, and I just have to. And I'm like, I don't know. She was driving a Mercedes Benz. I don't know what she did for a living. Um, I'm trying to think. Was she wearing scrubs? I think she was wearing scrubs, so which is an indicator maybe she worked in the medical profession or something. Don't know if she was a nurse or not. I don't know. But however, because they didn't really disclose that. But she driving this car. Don't know how she got it. Maybe it was passed down to her. It was gifted to her. Don't know. But we just okay. How many times does that happen? It can happen. But okay, this is a car that she decided to get. That's that. Wanting to look like you're doing something, wanting to look like you have something, but your whole foundation is messed up. Okay. Um, So that's that falsehood again. That's just that, you know, wearing mask. So anyway, she left and she went over to her mother's. Now apparently she hadn't seen her mother in a very long time. When she arrived at her mother's house, it was her and an adult male, which was her brother. Okay. And in the beginning of the movie, it showed this adult male that didn't have it all together mentally. They had showed him like having on a wig and lipstick, and he was acting out, um, going through mentally some, spasms or whatever, and then shouting, and then just going through different emotions, anger, scared, um, schizophrenia type, um, energy. And then he went through this central energy where he was rolling all on the floor and saying, "Oh, it feels good," and touching all on himself and all. So okay. So there was a lot of spirits on this man. So what's going on with this man? Most likely it's still from childhood. Most likely there was some abuse there. Who was the abuse coming from? Most likely he never healed from it. And it's just a toxic cycle. Okay. So, anywho, this adult male was that male in the beginning of the movie, and I'm like, oh my god! But of course, they had him looking a little nervous, but he was kind of like a little nerdy type male. This is how they displayed him. That was just kind of off and weird. Okay. So the children picked up on his weirdness, but still they ended up letting him, manipulate them in some way. So anyway, her face was all, one side of her face was all damaged, the mother, from the last incident of the abuse. And it wasn't, I don't even think it was a day where she started dating someone in the neighborhood, one of the neighbor's sons, grandson. And they kind of showed them crossing paths out in the in the yard, and he was thinking, how they have sometimes movies where they thinking out loud, and he was like, "Ooh, look at that body! Ooh, she got a body on her." That lets you know what his priorities are. that sends up the alarm. And then she's like, "Oh, he look good. Oh, he okay." So there you go. But it's like, girl, you you it ain't even been a week, let alone a month, a year. It ain't even been a week. Wasn't even a day, you know, before she dating someone else. And he was like real aggressive, but he wasn't physically abusive, but he was abusive in other ways. So anyway, they went out that night. The man she left came to the mom's house um, with a beer in hand, so he was alcoholic also. And, when she wouldn't comply to his demands, he wanted to, basically like he about to hit her again or whatever. And then this guy came out and kind of stepped in between that. And so, he was like, after other guy left, that's how they, started. That's how the date night went. So he asked her on a date, want to go out? So she like, yeah. So they go out, and then all of a sudden, maybe next day or so, they got something to tell the children. They getting married, huh? So the children like, huh? No, it's just supposed to be us. Because they just looking for some attention from Bob. They trying to, because they need to heal, really. Everybody do. And so she started dating this guy. Um, they about to get married. And so he was snorting cocaine, got her hooked on cocaine. So she became a drug addict. She ended up, getting strung out. So that was another layer of trauma that now she got to heal from. So it came out that, yeah, the abuse that she went through as a child by the hands of her own father and other men that her mother, okay, was messing around with, and how she was promiscuous, probably because of that. That's where it stemmed from. And her mother also got abused. Her brother ended up mentioning that she, at 5, I think her abuse started at 5, a cousin had forced her to give him fellatio. And of course, I'm sure a lot of other things happened. And so she had a history of messing with minor males, underage males, little boys, the mother. Okay. So she had things as old as she was, she hadn't healed from, right? So come to find out that she was raping her son since he was a child, and still, as an adult, making him perform sexual acts on her. And, and having sex with her, manipulating, and he liked young children too. So he ended up messing with the one of the daughters, and then I think making both of them do things, that were inappropriate. The male, the young male, and the oldest daughter. Um, and to make a long story short, he ended up getting her pregnant. She tried to commit suicide. Now, she was still young. She might have been maybe about 12, 13, something like that. And she took her mother pills, tried to kill herself or whatever, and come to find out she was pregnant. And the mother didn't find out until the other daughter, the youngest daughter, saw her in the bathroom vomiting. And she said she had been vomiting for about a week. And so she told the mother, and then the mother was like, "What's wrong with you?" And she wasn't eating apparently or something. But it's like you don't know what's going on with this girl, and so she was like, She was like, "So when the last time have you had a period?" And she was like, "Well, I haven't had a period since we left grandma's house." And apparently that was months ago. And it's like, you don't know she not having a period. So so this is that stuff again right there. You so busy getting you worrying about, laying up with some man that you missing a lot of key factors here, girl. So called mother. Huh? So it was a mess. So yeah, what else? So it was then it was that was because I started to turn it off, but it was like spirit was like, no, watch it, watch it. I had to burn sage because it was dark, especially with that mother coming to find out that she was raping her own son and still was doing it. Oh my God. So that was a bunch of and so these are the spirits that follow us, these families, our families generationally that we haven't healed from and that taunt us and our children. Okay. And it's just a vicious cycle. Okay. Going through the same traumas because we're not healing. We're not learning. We're not stopping and saying, hold on, wait a minute. This is a pattern. And this is a sick pattern and it needs to be addressed. Right? We just, because we're not in tune. So we miss a lot of things. So, make a long story short, that oldest, she ended up having a baby. She wanted to have the baby. She didn't want to have an abortion. She just said she didn't feel that it was right. The mother would have been okay with her having an abortion. Anyway, to make a long story short, the son, the uncle, the brother, ended up strangling the mother, because he was trying to, he didn't want to do it anymore. And he was saying that it was wrong, but she was trying to manipulate his mind still. She was very verbally abusive as well. Um, you know, into doing it, she wanted